I'm browsing Facebook Marketplace for my next furniture flip. You can see there's a lot of different things on my market. I love Campaign, but this one's a little pricey and there's really not a whole lot I'd need to do. Then I found this MCM. It's also cool, but I don't know what I would do with it. Then I found this one and it's really cool. I love the lines, but it is missing hardware. So even though it's $100, that can get pretty pricey to replace hardware. Then I saw this Mid-Century Modern. Has all of the hardware, really clean lines. I like it. It's really pretty. Now it is 30 minutes away, but I decided this is the one I'm going to go with. So Kate and I, we loaded up, took the drive out, a little small talk with the seller, and then we loaded it up in the van. But I'm already 1 hour in, to this flip because time-wise, because of the 30-minute drive back and forth. My husband helped us unload it when we got back. I move it along the side of the garage until the next day. Now I work out of a 2.5 car garage and everything has to go back to normal every day. So once the cars go out, you can say I'm pulling out one of the cars, then I can pull everything out to get it ready to work on. So this is a working garage. I don't have a workshop. Everything I do has to be reset every single day. I don't have central heating and air conditioning in my garage, and you're in trouble when you see cactuses in your forecast in your area. But we're going to put the fan on, we're going to put a neck fan on, and we're going to get going. I really love this. It has beautiful, clean lines. I didn't even notice it in the pictures, but there's some brass inlay in each of the drawers. And so it has the integrated hardware on the side, so no pulls. You just pull open that molding area. But I got lucky. I got a Maker's Mark. It's a Harmony house, so that's really great. I love being able to find a Maker's Mark. It has dovetails. It's going to be a good flip. So I have very little damage on this piece. The top has some scratches and things like that, but no actual veneer chunk missing or anything like that. The only area I had was right there on the side. Had a little bit of veneer missing, but overall it's in really great shape. Have the brass on the bottom. It's going to be a great flip. Let's go. I always think it's fun when I find little things when I'm cleaning. So this was behind something, a little happy holidays, and this is a Halloween card. It says, "Rattle them bones, like Halloween is your only night to howl, love Dad." I didn't know people gave Halloween cards, so I thought that was kind of funny. But I'm going to start by giving it a really good clean. It's really honestly not that bad, but I like to clean out the interior and the exteriors really well on every piece that I do. And then they had those brass inlays. And so I'm going to take those out. They slid out in one direction, so it was really easy to get out. It had a drawer lining that was integrated into it, and so it was a little beat up, so I decided just to take that out. I'm going to remove the brass caps on the feet to get them polished up. So there's usually just a nail. So I'm just going to remove that nail and they just pop right off. And then what I'll do is I'll just put them in some tape, label them. That way I make sure they go on the right foot. I've worked on this type of finish before, and this is a blonde mahogany type of finish. And I know there is beautiful mahogany underneath this, but I also know that in order to get this painted finish, they had to put a white grain filler on. And so if I were to strip this piece, I would have to strip it and then go over the entire piece with a brass brush and some acetone to get the white grain filler out of every single wood pour. So I have done that in the past, but I'm not going to do that on this piece. I'm just going to simply give it a fabulous paint job. So I'm going to start with a really good scuff sand over the entire piece. Any kind of detailed areas, I'll go in with some liquid sandpaper because I'm just trying to etch up the surface so I have really good adhesion when I go to prime and paint. Now that my prep is done, I'm ready to prime. I love using my hydraulic lift table, get it up, make sure I get the legs really well. So I'm using a spray primer, you can see here. Just going to go over the whole piece. I like using white primer or like a light gray primer to begin with because I just feel like it shows any of the imperfections really well. So that's all I'm going to get done for the first day. So again, I have to reset my workshop every day. I'm going to put everything back. You can see I'm putting it on its little dollies, and then I'm putting everything back, sweeping up the workshop, and then I'll pull the car in, and then we'll reset for the next day. So here's the next day. I'm going to do the same thing. I have to reset, pull the cars out, bring out my pieces. I know it's a little bit, but I really like the streamlined process. I kind of feel like it kind of closes little tabs in my brain so I don't have so many pieces where it's overwhelming. I got quite a bit of texture from the spray paint, so I'm going to have to give everything a really good scuff sand before I move on to my next coat. Then I'm going to fill in all my imperfections. For the shallow areas, I'll use glazing Bondo, and then for the side piece, I'll use the 2-part wood filler. It's a little bit thicker, and it'll be good for more of a structural area. So for my second coat of primer, I'm going to go dark because my paint is dark. So I have 2 different primers. I have a gray primer and I have a black primer. And so I'm just going to use up what I have. And so it's going to look really ghetto, but it's going to be just fine. It's just primer at this point, and this will all get covered with paint. So here's my third day. So I'm up to, I have 2 coats of primer on, and today I'm ready to actually paint. You can see my little shop dog is Cooper. He loves to come out to the garage with me. So I always put him on his little leash, and he hangs out in the front yard and barks at dogs as they go by. This is my spray booth area. I have curtains that are hung from the ceiling. That just helps so I don't have a lot of overspray into the other areas of the garage. This is my Wagner Erlex 5700. This is my spray gun. I just love this thing. You just simply plug it in, so it's great. Don't even need a compressor. I'm using Wise Owl 1 Hour Enamel, and this is in the color Charleston Green. It is the most beautiful blue-green I have found. So I do like to strain my paint, make sure that it's ready, test it on a piece of cardboard, and I'm ready to go. This paint has really good coverage. I ended up doing, I think, 3 full coats. Some of it was just because I missed little areas. They do recommend a spray gun for this particular paint. It dries so fast though. I was able to finish everything in one day. There was a lot of tarnish on the brass, so I'm using a brass cleaner that I got and some fine steel wool, and it really did a good job getting it polished up. I make sure I do a little scuff sand in between my coats. This is my second coat. I make sure that I scuff sand in between each coat and dust that off. After the second coat on the sides, you could see there's just like some texturing. You can see the pattern of my spray gun. So I decided I'm going to get rid of that by wet sanding. So I have like a 400 grit wet sand paper. Going to go over that area, clean it off, and then I'll come back and do another pass. If you noticed before, I did spray over the hinges. It's just easier sometimes to spray with the doors on. So what I'm going to do is one by one, I'm going to take off the hinges and I'm going to put it in an acetone bath because it had paint on the inside too from the original finish. So I'm just going to go over it with some fine steel wool. I'm not trying to get them perfect. I'm just trying to get that paint off both on the spine and on the inside from that like blonde paint color. And so those look great. And then all I have to do is just reattach them one by one. I keep a lot of my hardware from my pieces that I have left over. And so I had some screws that were kind of stripped and one was bent. And so I wanted to replace them. So I found a couple other vintage screws that I think are going to work really well. Let's look back at the before on this piece. This was in great condition. I love the clean lines of it. Obviously, it was already a painted finish, but it just needed a little updating. And I didn't even notice that it had brass accents because it just really blended into the color. And so here is the before, and here's the after. Isn't it cool? I went ahead and staged it up. You can see I just pull things from the house, kind of put them on books. I like to protect, especially if I have a painted top, I like to put books down so that I'm not going to mar the finish. But this is a beautiful look. I really think that brass pops against the dark green. Some pieces just seem like that's the color that they are designed to be. I don't think it needed to be light. I think with all this brass, it needed a dark contrast. So I think it's a beautiful color, and I think it'll fit into a lot of different people's homes. You can see that Wise Owl paint, it laid down really beautifully. I'm in love with it. So I didn't do anything on the inside. I cleaned it up and just let it be. So tell me what you think. Did you like this color? Would you have tried to strip it and refinish it? I don't know. Tell me in the comments, and thanks so much for watching.